Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to SNEW with the Cruise, the SNEWS Button, Episode 3, with Mr. Adam Gattrell.
Hello.
Nice hello.
Yeah. Thank you.
Mr. Paul Brown.
Hello there.
Standard.
Yep.
And Mr. Ross Murphy.
Hello.
And me, Mr. Chris Quinton.
Nothing said about Ross's.
No, nothing said about Ross.
I just tried to say the most normal hello possible.
It was just very, Ross.
Oh, hello. I haven't seen you for ages.
Excellent.
We've got the old hello Nazi over there. Just try and stay neutral.
So, the SNEWS Button, this is our TV show. This is our podcast about TV shows.
This is our TV
Stay
show.
away. Don't say
Fucking
anything.
hell.
Oh, Jesus. You can also listen to our other show, which is called...
Just Another Retro Car.
Which will be released on...
Thursday.
Thruzzle days.
Thruzzle Days.
Yeah.
The day of Thor, every week. And Just Another Retrocast is all about stuff
Us
that we...
being nearly old.
Us being really old and stuff that we appreciated when we were young. So if you're in your 30s or 40s, then perhaps have a listen to that.
What we nattering about this week?
If you're younger than that, you still love the 80s because the 80s is cool at the moment.
Ah, true.
But then also, if you're young, you're probably just, for some reason, obsessed with retro things.
I'm wondering why this
before
isn't
the
on
80s,
YouTube and
yeah.
and it's just an audio podcast. I mean, that's basically radio. I mean, who the fuck listens to radio?
So this week, I
Yeah.
think we are looking at hobbies, games and activities
Mega.
from our childhood.
Sounds good.
I'll try and rustle up a few then.
Cool.
Shake the noggin and see what rattles
Don't do
out.
that.
I can tell you when a Paul's having a poo at the bottom of the garden because that's where toilets are up north.
That's where my
what the
toilet
TV
was
told
down
me,
here.
yeah.
It's not really a hobby, it's a necessity.
Yep.
Just lift up a flagstone and
Johnny Briggs.
pop it in. Yeah.
Dock leaf to wipe.
Yeah, of course, yeah. If you're lucky. Yeah, drag your ass across the nettles.
So we start the show usually with a consuming section or consuming section. So we'll talk about what we've been watching this week. And in actual fact, most of us have seen Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Homecoming.
75%.
75% is
And there's
most of us.
4 of us, so work that out.
Well,
3/4.
here's a clue. I stayed at home and caught up on Rick and Morty.
Amazing.
Hey.
Well,
Yeah.
at least you did something good.
I'm on board now.
Good
Yeah.
choice.
It's
Excellent.
good. It's great.
Just
But Paul, you haven't seen It's Always Sunny yet, so you need to get on that.
Rick and Morty's better.
Rick and Morty is better.
It is better.
But you
Yeah.
say that, I think Paul, knowing Paul as well
I
as
watched
I do,
it.
I think he'll just in It's Always Sunny is just incredible. Are you on season 2 of It's Always Sunny yet?
No, I got...
No, when Danny DeVito comes in, it's a completely different show. It's
Cool.
fucking
Yeah.
This is
fantastic.
true.
Is it?
This is very true.
I'll go with it.
A bit like Parks and Recs. You have
Cool.
to just put up with that first season
Yeah.
before it becomes amazing.
Right, I'll go with it then.
It's like having your filthy uncle come along to a party that's already quite good.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
In a good way, not as in like
Not-
he's a
not
filthy uncle.
sneaky.
He starts touching people, and
Not
it's
Oh
as
yeah, he
appropriate.
does start touching people though, doesn't
Yeah,
he?
yeah,
It's
but
like
in-
he's that sort of character.
Cool.
but in a Danny DeVito sort of way it works.
And he's fucking loaded as well, so he just does these stupid things.
Yeah, I'm up for that then. Let's give it a go.
Cool.
That's your homework for this week, Paul.
It is. It sounds like my brother. Is he like my brother? Only short and fat instead of...
Is your brother a sneaky midnight uncle?
That's
Adam,
the name
no,
of,
Graham,
that's
yes.
definitely the name of his first album, though.
Sneaky midnight uncle.
Danny DeVito, sneaky midnight uncle. Right, yeah, let's talk about Spider-Man then.
Is that Spider-Man Homecoming 2017?
It is.
It is.
Is it a Marvel picture or is it a Sony picture?
Oh,
Who knows?
it's a
Sony picture.
conglomeration. I can't say
Did anyone
that
else? Did anyone boo in your theatre when the Sony emblem came up at the
No,
beginning?
because
No,
if
that's
anyone had done that,
amazing.
I'd have
I
cut
did.
that. I'd have
You did.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
amazing.
mate, I would have jumped over the seat and ripped his throat out, mate. Chris, you're too old to be... Sorry, I just interrupt here. You're too old to be a fanboy, but I just caught you playing Borderlands on the Xbox,
Yep.
and then you booed the Sony logo the day
Yes.
before.
Yeah, because they shouldn't be producing a fucking Spider-Man movie.
They did a really good job, so fuck you.
Well, yeah.
With Marvel's help.
We should do this as a proper review, right? So,
Spoilers or no spoilers?
no spoilers.
No, spoiler cast.
No spoilers.
Really?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
people won't listen to it.
Yeah.
He's Peter Parker.
Yeah, no spoilers.
Who is the Peter Parkers?
Chris, this is right up your street, mate. This is the sort of thing you get hard over, so go for it.
Go for it.
Right.
Apologise away.
Spider-Man Homecoming 2017 is basically an origin story for Spider-Man, but not in the usual kind of origin story for Spider-Man kind of way. You don't see the spider bite, you don't see Uncle Ben being shot, but it still gives you a nice basis and a starting point for the character. And it stars Tom Holland, Michael Keaton, bit of Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
Who's Aunt May?
Not the same person who's in Civil War, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marissa Tomei
That's it.
as Aunt May.
And John Favreau's in it.
And
Yeah,
John
John
Favreau as Happy, and quite a few other recognisable faces,
Yep.
and some very new faces as well.
So basically, Sony have given up on trying to do a Spider-Man film alone, so they've worked with Marvel, and what they've done is they've dropped him into Civil War, and this film is a kind of carry-on directly from the sort of middle and end of Civil War, giving you Peter Parker's life after that event, but also showing you some of his school life.
They do this weird thing. It's only weird because it's shot in 4:3 and like no phone shoots in 4:3, where Peter Parker just films himself, and then it films him meeting up with Tony Stark for like the first time and getting given this a suit so that he can pull Captain America's shield away from him.
So it's like a vlog, isn't it? He's like doing his own like little video blog thing just to capture the moment.
This is true, yeah, and we should reiterate actually, all this stuff has been in trailers, so hopefully you don't consider it spoilers. And everything that's been in the trailers actually, it all falls within the first sort of 5-10 minutes of the movie, which is very, very good for Sony, because I think with Amazing Spider-Man 2 they gave away something like 45 minutes of footage, which is just crazy. But yeah, then the setup for the bad guy, again, shown in trailers. So he runs a firm that collect and clean up stuff that's been left behind, the detritus, if you like, after superhero battles.
They're doing all that, and then the government come in and put a stop to it and go, we're doing this now, sorry, you're not doing this. And that's when the story kind of kicks off.
What weirded me out about there's a little scene where we're the construction guys, and then the government turn up and go, no, we're doing this now. And the mate is like, well, this is my business. I've spent all this money on. And it's almost as if the government are just like, fuck you. And he's like, well, I'm going to go bankrupt and everything. Like,
you know what I really love about that scene? Is that it puts you on the side of the bad guy.
Yeah.
It instantly...
You understand this bad guy. Unlike a lot of the other Marvel films, you get it. It
in
makes
the struggling
sense.
world that we live in, everybody's immediately got a link to this guy. He's
Yeah.
just had the rug pulled out from under him.
So in this one, it's the suit with the webs. These are all little gimmicks and things.
No,
are they?
it's
They're not.
it's
can
proper
still-
traditional external web shooters again. Yeah.
Oh right,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's
Like
not.
it
It
is in the
doesn't come out of his
comics.
veins or
No.
anything.
No,
It's
no,
not
no,
like
it's not jizzing everywhere.
No,
No, it is legitimate. Like, it's not
like
the
a gun thing.
Yeah. He actually made. It shows his intelligence by making them. You know, he actually designs them and makes
So what
them.
does he bring to the table then? He's got certain spider powers, presumably.
He's got the standard, like, slightly.
He can stick to walls.
He can stick to walls. He's got
Without the
superhuman
suit.
strength, and
Right.
he's got the web shooters, and he's got a sort of. They don't really overdo the spider
They
sense
don't
thing.
make a big thing of it, but he's
No.
blatantly got it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
cool.
He does react to things quicker than like someone going to punch him. He can move to the side very quick.
Yeah,
So he's
actually,
obviously
do you
got
think-
that.
I'm
But
not
they
even-
never sort of blatantly go, "Oh, spider sense."
I'm not
Like
even
that.
sure
Well, that's
there's
catchphrase.
anything you see anything in the movie that even makes you think that he's got spider sense at all, other than in the same way as like Batman's got Batman sense because he's a badass Batman.
Yeah, but the Spider-Man thing, there was quite a few bits where like lasers are firing at him,
Yeah.
and he's able to just move out of the
Massive
way and
weapons
just go,
going off.
"Oh,
Yeah.
oh, what's going on there? Why is that shooting at me?" Whereas Batman would be like, "Whoa," and then probably get caught on the shoulder or something. So it's definitely a speedier reaction than most superheroes would have, unless they've got a like verging on super speed.
Spider skills, not ninja skills.
Yeah,
But he's
yeah.
learning all of this as he goes, and
Right.
it's like the character from the ground up, so he's really crap at being Spider-Man, basically. So he's swinging through the neighbourhood, crashing into people's sheds, and fucking up by, like, trying to catch a guy from breaking into his own car.
Yeah,
And,
that's quite
and
good.
things, you know. And
Not to skip ahead, but there's another cool bit where they do the thing where they answer the question. Spider-Man doesn't really work outside of New York because he's in the suburbs and he runs through a garden. And he goes, and there's just nothing to him
There's
to
just
web to,
shooting into a
obviously
field.
because they're in the suburbs. It's just all the houses are like 1-2 story.
It's
and
a
so
golf course, isn't it?
Because in the comics, he tends to travel distance by train, doesn't he?
Yeah,
He just webs onto it and just sits on the top of a train, doesn't he?
or
Right.
a helicopter or something like that. Yeah.
There are a couple of those really nice shots, though. Big,
Yeah.
wide angle shots and things. And the camera work in it was really nice, I thought. Really, really nice.
I think that's the one good thing that Zack Snyder's ever done for cinema. Just proved that you can shoot a comic frame perfectly, like a really iconic one. Like I think that what set the benchmark for that sort of thing was 300, wasn't it?
Yeah, true.
Oh yeah.
'Cause
I
there's
thought
some
you were.
really,
I thought you
like-
were going to say something like Batman versus Superman. I
No,
was going to tell
just
you're an
totally
idiot.
not.
but-
Like 300, they
Yeah,
storyboarded it from the comic, and there's just shots in there that are like and big single
Yeah.
pages from the comic.
perfectly
and they're
done.
really good. Yeah.
But then that's the thing. I think there's a lot of comic book films that don't take inspiration from the comic books enough. And I think doing your own thing's good as long as you still pay homage to where your source material's coming from.
And generally, the whole film feels like light and stuff. You could take your kids to see it quite
Yeah.
happily. I
Yeah.
think their target audience, they've aimed a bit lower, which is a bit weird with where Sony are planning to go with the movies afterwards.
Mm.
But still,
Yeah, but then also I don't think they've purposely made it so... I think
There-
the style of it is good enough that it's kind of aimed at younger teenagers,
To
and
be
they're
honest-
of an age with what they're seeing at the cinema anyway. They can go on to the darker storylines,
By
and
the-
they'll be a couple of years older anyway, won't they?
maybe.
By the time they go on to the second one as well, most of the cast are going to be knocking on 20, aren't they?
Sure.
Yeah.
But they're still going to be presenting it as them at school, I imagine.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Just-
Won't it be like college years? I don't know how American school system works.
Depends what they do
Bit
with the
like
timeline,
ours.
doesn't it? Because in every Marvel movie, up until this one and Guardians of the Galaxy, they're all done in real time. So if there's 6 months between movies,
Yeah.
there is 6 months between what's happening in the films. See what I mean?
Yeah.
6 months
Yeah.
passes in
This
the real world.
this
6
one
months.
jumps a bit about.
They
Yeah,
fucked,
sorry,
they fucked
the-
it up with this one.
There's a time thing that comes up on the screen.
Yeah,
8
it's
years
wrong.
8 years later,
It's
and
wrong,
3
isn't it?
months later.
8.
Why is it wrong?
It's not 8 years ago that
Because the Avengers
had
happened in
come out.
2012. Yeah.
Right, so Avengers like 5 years old at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I thought I was going insane.
No.
I was going. It never came out
So
till I
this
was
one-
30.
This one and Guardians of the Galaxy are the two movies. That
I
have
thought this one was
ruined
supposed
that.
to be set slightly ahead of where we are now. I thought it was
No.
supposed to be set a couple of years ahead, same as Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is supposed to be a
Yeah.
couple of
It
years
doesn't
ahead.
have to be real time,
No.
does it? Because it's not real.
But it is
Earth.
set. There's something I saw to suggest that it is set in 2000. Oh yeah, it's
The iPhone.
the
7.
Prowler's.
or
No.
whatever the Sony version that is.
It's the Prowler's age.
Xperia.
It's the Prowler's age.
The Prowler. Aaron Davis.
He's 33.
Is he the Prowler? I thought
Yeah.
he was supposed to be.
Why does it matter that Donald Glover's 33?
No, it's not the actor's age. The
No,
character's
he says
age.
he's 33 in the... Yeah. Why is that
But it
matter?
shows his date of birth on his driving license.
Oh, right, okay.
So it's
Is
2017.
that a continuity issue?
Yeah,
I don't know.
a little bit.
There's
Oh, don't tell Adam about it.
there's
He'll- he'll-
two different versions of the Prowler, and I don't know if that's supposed to be the Prowler. I think he's supposed to be Miles Morales' uncle.
Is that not the Prowler?
No, he's not called that in the Ultimate Universe. He's just a bloke who's not very nice.
Is this more like Ultimate Spider-Man, isn't it? I think I've read the...
No. I think the Ultimates. Well, yeah, it's probably got things in common with both. Same as Amazing Spider-Man had things in common with the Ultimate Spider-Man and the original.
What's
Spider-Man.
the name of the guy? Brian? He's got
Brian
some-
Michael Bendis.
Michael Bendis.
Yeah.
He's the white guy who wrote Ultimate Spider-Man, isn't he?
Yeah.
And he's all like at school and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it
don't like that
works.
much.
No, it's some of it's really good and some of it's awful. But I think that's the same with all versions of Spider-Man. Some of it's good, some of it's awful.
So according to the Marvel Wiki page, Aaron Davis, Earth 1610, is the Prowler.
So in the normal universe, he's the Prowler then. Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
So
I
where's
didn't-
Michael
didn't realise
Keaton?
So Michael
Yeah,
Keaton-
let's get back to the movie.
Yeah, Michael Keaton is the guy that runs the company that are doing the cleanup. I don't think this is spoilers. It's pretty obvious in the trailer.
What's that?
What happens, like what Michael Keaton becomes.
yeah.
He basically him and his crew start taking the weapons and equipment and building weapons out of the alien technology they found in secret and selling it on the black market to criminals.
Right. Wicked.
So he's basically Vulture.
So that's where we're going with that.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Nice take on the Vulture as well.
Very nice take. Like, you can understand his motives, you can understand his angle. The design of the thing is nowhere near as bad as Green Goblin was in Spider-Man 1. So
It was Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Spider
It was
Rangers.
just
Spider Rangers.
Yeah, pretty sad. Tell you what else was pretty bad.
What?
The Green Goblin in Spider-Man 3 was equally as bad. He had a snowboard
I
glider.
haven't got far enough into that film to even see that happen.
Have you not seen Spider-Man 3 all the way through?
No,
Why the hell not?
because the first 15 minutes are fucking atrocious.
You should go and watch it.
No,
Yeah, you should.
I'm not going to. I've seen a cut down 4-minute version of the best bits. That's enough.
I'm still clucking to see The Last Night.
Yep.
I just know it's going to be so bad that part of me just wants to watch it.
Spider-Man 3 is not going to be as bad as The Last Night.
No, Spider-Man
think.
3 is probably worse than Last Night.
No.
Spider-Man 3 is bad. It's no.
Spider-Man 2 was bad,
Spider-Man
other
3.
than Octavius. The guy who played him was really good as Doc Ock, but the rest of that film was rubbish.
There's
The
loads
first
of problems
Spider-Man
with it,
is
but
rubbish. In my eyes, this is the first Spider-Man film we've had that's any good, like even slightly.
Right.
It's the first Spider-Man film that's actually watchable.
Civil War was quite good as
It's not a Spider-Man film, though. It's not a Spider-Man film, no, Ross.
This is the first standalone Spider-Man movie that's worked for all the right reasons, I think, all the way through, and they did a good job with continuity within the movie.
Yep.
Hey, I like
To a
the Andrew
degree.
Garfield ones. They're
They're
certainly better
awful.
than
The first one's alright. The second one's terrible.
The
Watch it again and you'll see what I mean. It's just really badly scripted, horribly paced.
All of the
all
Spider-Man
over the
films
place.
are just badly
Can
made.
we just talk about how funny this film is? Because
Yeah.
it's fucking hilarious
It
all
is,
the way
yeah.
through.
Yeah.
It's very true.
The humour's spot on.
Is it?
Someone dropping a Lego Death Star, I never thought I'd find that funny, but in this
What,
situation,
because
it's
you were mortally
hilarious.
wounded by the fact that the Lego Death Star got dropped and you were like, no.
Yeah, it just upset me. Someone had spent their time building a Lego Death Star, and if you drop it,
Somebody
there's
got
bound to
paid
be
to
some
build that,
broken
mate.
pieces.
Don't
so-
worry, somebody got paid
Yeah,
to
I
build
know.
that.
That's even more amazing.
And he's got Star Wars,
Paid to build what?
original Star Wars figures on his shelves as well, hasn't he?
Got paid to build the
That
Death
Lego
Star.
Death Star.
Yeah.
Adam's like, that's horrible. Imagine dropping Lego. Yeah, but if you're paid to do it, I'd throw it on the floor. It's like when those, it's like when the Tibetan monks do that thing where they just go. If you were getting paid to do it, you know when they do the thing where they make sand, they make these really intricate, massive pictures with sand,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then afterwards they just straight away just go and rub it
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
You could do that with Lego if you were being paid to do it.
Yeah.
Like if somebody went build that Lego Death Star and then you can look at it for 24 hours, but then you've got to throw it out a window. I'd be like, fuck yeah.
This is getting dangerously close to what we should be talking about in our other podcast, and we're
Yeah.
talking
Yeah.
about Spider-Man right
Yeah,
now.
come on. Yeah,
So,
Spider-Man.
What do you want to know, Paul?
This is Spider-Man's school days then.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he's not a roving reporter, photographer,
No,
and
not yet.
then he gets... Because wasn't it...
He was a school kid
No, he's
when he
just
got
a
bit.
big nerd
Yeah,
at
yeah.
school.
Right, he's a big nerd
He was
at
into
school,
his photography, but
but he's not professional yet.
Not
He's
even
just
touched on
still
that
a
side of
kid.
it at
So
all.
Nowhere near that yet.
no.
No.
Oh, his sidekick's pretty cool.
That's
He,
his little
this
mate,
is
innit?
nice.
So-
Amazingly, the sidekick does remind me of a character from Spider-Man in the main universe comics, where he's much older and he's got a mate in a science lab that he works with who is an Asian guy who's like quite chunky. So I think that's kind of...
Where
I
they're
don't know
going
if
with
it
that.
is the
They're
same
mixing
character.
two characters
or-
together.
I think so.
Kevin Smith in Die Hard 4 or Barbara Gordon, paralysed Barbara Gordon.
Yeah, so
Same
yeah,
character.
he is basically a proper sidekick.
His character from the film would become a villain as well
Really?
in the comics. Yeah.
So who knows then? Are we it's just his best mate.
Yeah.
Nobody else knows.
Tony Stark and Happy Hogan.
Happy Hogan.
Yeah,
For
John,
now.
John Favreau's character.
yeah.
Yeah.
Who's Happy Hogan? I don't
Iron
know.
Man's like,
Iron Man's bodyguard.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Stroke driver.
yeah. So
Stro-
basically,
stroke
it's
driver.
just stroke driver. Yeah, so it's basically just those three that know.
Is that like a fluffer?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Absolutely.
That's the idea. Tony Stark would have one of them, wouldn't he?
Yeah, definitely.
Right. So I'm guessing the Tony Stark scene. Are we talking cameo or we
No,
bit player? He's in and out quite often.
Quite impressively, they use Tony Stark a couple of times in the film, but then they also have Iron Man actually getting involved.
If anything, he's kind of doing like the parental thing.
Because you haven't got the Uncle Ben thing in there, they've still put something in that gives him a reason to be a hero.
Yeah. Still got
But
some
they do it
grounding,
they do it in a good way, and also he sort of, his best mate when he's asking him questions does like bring up certain things where when he's talking to his mate he does mention Spider-Bite and he does mention his Uncle Ben.
Yep.
So
Right.
it's in there, but it's
He doesn't appear to have been responsible for Uncle Ben's death either, does he? Indirectly.
we don't know.
He doesn't appear to be going
He
through emotional
mentions-
turmoil, but
Well, he doesn't seem. When he says to his mate about the other situation, I think is the wording. That's enough of a hint that something happened. Whether or not that's directly connected to Uncle Ben, I don't know.
fair enough.
Right, the bit that's confusing me is we mentioned it previously on a previous podcast where we've got Daredevil and Luke Cage and all these people that they have powers but only to a certain level, and then you've got the next level. You've got those people that are just colossal, ridiculously powerful, and they're the different crew. I would have thought Spider-Man would have fitted in more with
Ground level stuff.
stuff. So, how does he? Is he discovered by Iron Man or something like, or he's being monitored by somebody or other, and they think, right, he's going to be one of our proteges. We'll trade him up.
Iron
But
Man,
he just
exactly
doesn't
that.
sound like he would fit in with.
I think
that crew
he's
so much.
in the real Marvel comics. He is the character that swings the most between ground level and sort of getting involved in cosmic shit.
Yeah,
Because he's got the super strength, he's got the science intelligence. You know, he can stand and have a conversation with Tony Stark and Reed Richards from the Fantastic Four about all the science bullshit all day long, but can then go down to ground level and stop someone nicking an old lady's purse.
yeah.
There's a great possibility as well because Robert Downey Jr. is starting to talk about leaving the MCU. I'm not saying it's going to happen like now, but he's starting to say, look, at some point it's going to get cringeworthy, and I just want to step out while it's good.
Yeah.
So Peter Parker's a really good character to take it forward. He's sciencey enough to be a science bro with Bruce Banner, for instance.
So what you're saying, they make Peter Parker the new Iron Man, and then
to a degree.
Then somebody else
well, maybe give him the
becomes-
Iron Spider suit from the Civil War comics, but in a way that's to do with Iron Man dying. He made him one last suit, which kind of has jet things in and stuff, so he can sort of almost become Iron Man. But
So he's the Marvel universe, Luke Skywalker and Hot Rod.
Yeah,
That's where we're going with
That's
it.
right,
yeah, pretty much.
interesting. Before we
Because
go
he's the
too far
best
away from what I wanted to
character.
say, do you know? Fun fact: do you know who does the voice for the Tony Stark first edition Spider-Man costume?
What the?
The female voice.
Oh right.
Karen.
Yeah, it's Jennifer Connelly, who's your lead lady from Labyrinth, and she is Paul Bettany's wife.
Who is it? Who
course
is
it
Iron
is.
Man's suits?
Paul Bettany.
Who's Paul Bettany?
The guy that plays Vision.
Yeah.
Paul,
So-
Paul Bettany is Iron Man's suit.
Yeah, he was
Jarvis.
the voice of
Got you.
Jarvis. Yeah,
So
that's amazing.
He's the
Not just his suit, everything. He's his
Yeah.
personal program.
He's in the movie called Wimbledon, where he's the tennis coach. But you might know him as the albino monk in Da Vinci Code.
Wasn't he in A Knight's Tale as well? With
Probably, but fuck that movie.
It's fucking awful.
To be honest, with the suit, it was like my least favourite thing.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Why's that?
I just
Yeah.
found it like an extra layer of like fluff that it didn't really need.
Yeah, but then I think that's the point. I think when Tony Stark takes the suit away from him and he's back to just his web shooters and a hoodie with some goggles, it's then about him proving that he doesn't need all that.
And it also adds an element of, because you've been seeing loads of stuff through like Spider-Man's eyes and like having her giving you loads of feedback about what's going on and stuff, when she's gone, you kind of feel naked with him.
Yeah, I appreciate why they put it in the movie, but because it helps with the narrative and moving the story along, and it allows there to be dialogue in scenes where you wouldn't normally have dialogue. But it's a bit Iron Man-y, isn't it?
Yeah,
Well,
but Tony
yeah.
Stark made it.
Yeah, I know.
That's
but
the point.
But that's not Spider-Man, is it?
No, but then
No, but maybe that's what it is. Maybe they're taking Spider-Man to another direction. So if they're building him up to be the leader, it's going to be a whole other
And at some
angle on
point,
Spider-Man,
it really
isn't
is Spider-Man as well.
yeah,
Because when he gets the Iron Spider suit from Tony Stark, he's got all these capabilities. The Iron Spider suit is an Iron Man costume.
yeah. Like I think in the Marvel films in general, none of them are going the fully traditional direction. Every single one of them has got a different avenue that they're.
The thing is, with this one as well, they've purposefully changed a bunch of stuff so that it doesn't match up with any previous incarnation.
Yeah.
So all the nationalities of the characters, and
Well,
not
also-
nationalities, but
Well, no, but like that's a very good point. The
Ethnicity.
ethnicities.
the ethnicities of all the kids in his class is an interesting one because it feels more like a school in Queens.
I have no frame of reference to that.
We were talking about this on the way home from the cinema last night. Though.
Like you look at
probably
other
gone into
American schools from that area in film or TV or in news articles or in documentaries. White kids aren't the most common ethnicity.
And they
so
can't
we're
jump.
not talking about like RuPaul's Drag Racing show where it's actually school in Queens.
Yeah. No, not like teaching Queens. Like
Right,
a
okay.
school
So a
in
school
Queens.
in
Yeah.
Queens.
And all the nerds are cool. No, I guess it's just like that now, but like all the chess club and the...
Well, the chess club weren't cool. They were the nerds sat in a room, and the other kids stood outside, and they're like, "Are you right? What are you doing?" And he was like, "Oh, just hanging here." And one of them goes, "Chess," and he's like, "No."
But they're on like the not the debate team, the
quiz team,
Yeah,
and they're all massive fucking nerds.
and they've based all this school life business and part of like him as a character on like retro movies, things like The Breakfast Club, and it's got all that sort of feel to it. And Ferris Bueller's Day Off is actually shown.
It's not as realistic as The In-Betweeners is, though, when it comes to what life is like.
Yeah, but
in
the In-Betweeners is so unrealistic.
No, it's not. The In-Betweeners is exactly what it was like at school.
The amount of stuff that happens to him and the way it happens is so unrealistic. Like, I don't know that show.
Just said, like, especially the dialogue, because obviously it's written by people like basically our age.
The dialogue's
just
not
that
far
horrible.
off. Yeah.
How American movies are about the cool kids and the nerdy kids, and where The In-Betweeners is actually about the 80% that's in the middle, and that's just you. You go to school and you don't fucking fit in with anything because you're not good at football, but you're not fucking into chess or stamps, and and then you're just like trying to talk to girls but not being able to talk to girls, and one of your mates has got a fucking briefcase and your other mate's full of shit.
I never had a friend that had a briefcase.
I did. My best friend in middle school had a briefcase.
Amazing.
Hello, Tim. How you doing?
Briefcase wanker.
So
yeah, from briefcase wanker back to
Spider-Man.
So where are we ranking this film then? Overall summary.
Let's do that.
It's the best Spider-Man film that's been made so far by a long, long shot. I'd say it's definitely a decent Marvel film, and it wasn't as paint by numbers as some of the other Marvel films were. It does its own thing. So for me, it's probably one of the better films I've seen this year, other than Guardians of the Galaxy 2. And I definitely recommend.
And it's showing
people
potential.
Watching.
For the future.
Yeah,
see where this is going to lead.
Yeah.
It's definitely not as good as Guardians, and it's definitely probably not as good as Civil War, but it's right up there.
Yeah.
From what I'm gathering, to sum up what you guys have said, it sounds to me like a very good introduction.
I would, right.
That's it, and it's the best is yet to come. This is just a good.
But it's a really good introduction.
I'd personally put it right on par with Ant-Man.
Right.
Yeah.
I think, but where it's really going to resonate with kids, because I think your boy will fucking love this. Yeah, I think the target audience is definitely lower than it.
And even as a parent or an adult, I think because of the way they've done the bad guy, the Vulture, everyone's in that point at the moment where people are struggling with getting by, and I think that's the most important part of that film. The fact that at the beginning you feel for that character, and then you're like, oh, you're doing bad shit. I can kind of understand, but you're an idiot. And then it leads on to the other stuff, and you're like, whoa, you're a proper bad guy.
Well, I quite like from what you've said about that. It's not just.
It's not a carbon copy clone of the
this
hero.
Is it. It's always, but also the villain. There's generally that feeling. Oh, he's bad and evil inside. So that makes him bad and evil. He's a baddie. But whereas it's someone who's been pushed to the limit, and he doesn't see right from wrong anymore because he's clouded by his own.
Yeah.
And my God, in actual fact, Michael Keaton, some of his scenes in this film are fucking intense.
I can
really,
imagine.
really
He's
good.
fucking brilliant.
There's one particular one in a car. I won't say anything more than that, but the tension in that scene is ridiculous.
It's really well
brilliant.
lit. Traffic lights.
Yeah, true.
That's why I liked him in Batman. He's only a little fella, but he's terrifying. He's brilliant. He looks mental.
He's fucking mental.
That's why he did a really good. Yeah. That's why he's great as Batman.
Everything he's in, he's good in. Like even the other guys, where he's just there, like chief of police, and also like runs a carpet shop. Like he plays that character better than anyone else plays their characters in that film. Like he's just got something.
Yeah.
Beetlejuice again. Like
Brilliant. Yeah.
yeah.
So, my thoughts on the film, where they could be going with Spider-Man from here onwards. You mentioned about continuity from the comics and stuff earlier on. Well, at the end, was Tony Stark going to introduce him to the world as Peter Parker? And therefore, are they continuing the original Civil War arc, or were they just pointing towards that in some way, shape or form?
Don't know.
So would Tony Stark want him, based on if we're in the middle of Civil War, would Tony Stark want him to reveal his identity?
Yeah, he would.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because the storyline, and the reason I say this as well is because they're kind of emotionally entangling you with Aunt May as well.
Yeah.
So basically, Tony Stark gets Peter Parker to reveal who he is.
This is in the comics.
In the comics.
Yeah.
Right.
Bad guys kill Aunt May.
Yeah.
And yeah, Spider-Man goes through this whole traumatic experience.
And swaps sides to Captain America's side.
Right.
Yeah.
Captain America's got some really good cameos in this film.
It has, yeah.
Including the end credits.
Yeah, the end credits as well.
In actual fact, this is actually, if you're Team Captain America, this is probably a really good film for you. If you're Team Iron Man, well, it's got Iron Man in it, but
he's not necessarily being
he's still
a nice
dick,
guy
isn't he?
at any point.
He's still an arsehole, and the only reason that you actually have any appreciation for him is because he's doing something nice for our main character.
Yeah.
But does that make you wonder if there's an ulterior motive to it?
It could be. It could be they're leading on and pointing towards something, and they're setting that up in case they want to do it, but also in case it
could
wants
be
to go another direction. So
yeah, something happens to Aunt May. There's also some big reveal with Iron Man, and that forces the whole switch over.
Yeah, so
Could be where
they got the possibility,
And they've set up Miles Morales as well,
Right.
who could just be a tiny, tiny child at this stage.
They're probably at the same school together, aren't they?
Potentially they could be at the same school.
Although
but
he does, I don't want to.
I imagine he's a bit
He goes
younger.
to a special school, doesn't
They're
he?
not the same age, though, are they?
He's slightly younger, but not by a lot. Like he's about 3-4 years younger, so he'd probably be in a different school, to be honest. But
And who's
Miles Morales
who becomes Venom? I'm guessing.
No, Miles Morales. It becomes the Spider-Man in one version of the Spider-Man story, where Peter Parker dies as a young guy, and Miles Morales is also bitten by a spider and becomes the new Spider-Man.
Right.
And at first, people are really angry because he's swinging around in a suit, and Spider-Man's just died, and everyone's found out that it was Peter Parker.
Right,
and
got you.
everyone's really angry, and then he goes and sort of proves himself and becomes a new Spider-Man.
How does he do that? Does he go and get himself bit by a radioactive spider as well? Then
He is bitten by a spider that his uncle has stolen in gear from a lab. It leads on to quite a good storyline with Miles Morales and him having to fight his own uncle, which is interesting because his uncle's a criminal. So yeah.
Criminal.
Any other plot errors that you noticed, guys?
No.
None?
I don't care.
No?
I don't.
Okay.
I'm sure there's a whole
Unless
list
a
of them on
film's so
YouTube
bad
somewhere.
that
I only
there's
noticed a
hundreds
couple.
of them.
There's no like major plot errors that it ruins the whole storyline.
No.
There's no minor plot errors that niggled at me.
There are some there, but you know what? We're doing a spoiler-free review. I don't want to ruin it for anybody. If anybody wants to know, I don't know, just drop us an email and we can discuss it in a future show or something. Our email address, of course, is snewwithcrew@gmail.com. But, right, let's move on a bit, shall we? Do you want some Spider-Man related news?
Go on.
Go on.
Are we moving on to the news section?
We are.
It's time for the SNEWS.
So, this week, a Nepalese newspaper ran a Spider-Man poster to advertise the movie.
Poster news.
However, poster news. However, when they released the Spider-Man poster, fucking the internet jumped all over it and started releasing parody versions and sticking extra heads on it and stuff. We covered this in a previous show.
Yeah.
And some of them look fucking hilarious. One with Batman in it doing a big face, for instance. That's the one that got printed in the Nepalese newspaper.
You'd be so pissy going to see that film and going, "Where's Batman?
Wow.
Where is Batman?"
It's just so weird.
I just love the fact that this happens more and more now. Like, after Borat at the Olympics, they played the fucking version of the Kazakhstan national anthem from Borat at one of the events.
Really?
Yeah. Like,
Whoops.
people lost their shit.
Wow.
And I'm not surprised. Like, that is not their national anthem.
Serious, that's
yeah,
that's
like,
amazing.
actually happened.
Funnier
like,
than that, they got the
know.
North Korea and the South Korean national anthems
Yeah.
modelled up as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
In which Olympics was this?
Probably Brazil, I think it was.
Yeah.
They got them modelled up.
Well, they were probably under a lot of pressure to fix everything, weren't they?
There's just been so many things with like parody images and like comical versions of songs from films that have ended up being used, or like you say, like getting the countries around the wrong
Hang
way.
on, do you guys know about all the shit that was going on in the background for the Brazilian Olympics?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like about how it nearly didn't happen.
Yeah.
What about all the children that were street children that were killed?
Yeah, and like how
yeah.
Qatar 2022 is going to be exactly the fucking same,
Yeah,
isn't
yeah.
it?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. And China
I just
was pretty
don't
bad,
give
to be
a
honest.
fuck
but-
about the Olympics, to be honest, and I don't know why they keep forcing countries that are struggling to have to kill street children and then basically create slave labour to get everything done on time.
The other side, just to play devil's advocate to that point, is it would be the same. It would be put if they didn't make it a thing that other countries can do. It would just be the G20, wouldn't it? Just going round and round because our economies can suck up.
But
the
just
cost
don't
of
have
it.
an Olympics.
Or just
take it to a country and just hold the events that you can hold in that country for that year.
like Qatar has literally been built. The stadiums have been built with like basically slave labour.
Right.
People are dying by the hundreds.
Wow.
Thanks, FIFA.
Absolutely crazy. But like people like turning up to take part in things and being robbed by local street gangs and things as well. And
Oh, yeah, Rio's pretty sketchy place. Just watch a film called City of God.
yeah, this is true. But on top of that, though, the government had stopped paying the police force because they couldn't afford their wages and the Olympics. So they stopped paying the police force, and the police all went on strike. So the city of Rio de Janeiro was just kind of managing itself,
Which in certain areas is okay because they've
well,
got
the
quite
favelas.
honest like areas where people look after their own and protect people and
The
stuff.
favelas
but-
police themselves as well,
Yeah, yeah.
just not under government bloody paychecks.
Yeah.
Different pay. So some more Spider-Man news then, just to
Round off the Spider-Man section.
So Spider-Man it's projected for 100 million at its opening weekend, and I think it's actually broken that. So it's going to be a very good high-grossing movie.
Good.
I'm kind of glad that it is, to be honest. It deserves to do well.
Except for you booed the Sony logo at the start.
Yeah.
So and deep down you'd rather it have failed.
But at the same time, like money that's made from merchandising, and fuck me, that's very, very important for Spider-Man, is still going to Marvel.
Mm.
So we've said this before about for every 10 superhero items that are sold,
75 of them are Spider-Man.
9 of them are Spider-Man, yeah.
Spider-Mans, there's lots
But
of
then
them on the shelves.
Most of the Spider-Man action figures now, other than a small percentage of what's made, is made by Hasbro. So the money's going to them, and they're badly made action figures.
Spider-Man's action figures.
The director would like
Some money.
Blade for the sequel.
Oh,
Don't
that
know
would
what
be
that means.
interesting. Blade.
The vampire. Blade.
He
Oh,
started in
Wesley
Spider-Man.
Snipes?
Yeah.
Yeah, he started in Spider-Man. So.
Oh yeah, because he's a sort of character that sort of crosses over with Daredevil and the Punisher a bit. So they're
Yeah.
sort of all the same sort of.
So I was going
Yeah,
to say,
but
actually,
he started in Spider-Man originally, and then
Yeah.
branched out into other stuff.
But those
became
four
popular.
characters overlap
Yeah.
quite frequently because of their New York location quite
Yeah.
regularly.
I was going to say, do you think that's where they're going with the Defenders?
Oh, the Defenders trailer's good at the cinema, isn't
It
it?
is, isn't
Yeah, yeah, that was interesting.
But wasn't-
Netflix trailer at the cinema.
I'd like to watch the Defenders at
Yeah.
the cinema.
Really?
Actually.
Yeah, I'd watch it at the cinema.
Wasn't Blade a good guy though?
Yeah.
Technically, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So it would be a
It would be I'm fighting you because you seem bad. Oh, actually, you're a good
Actually, you're
guy.
all
Let's
right.
team up and
Yes.
fight some vampires.
thumbs up.
He's the Daywalker. I really like it in Blade when he burns the big blob vampire with the ultraviolet lamp.
Yeah, I was makes me
You
feel
know
a
that
little
vampire? That vampire, he's so fat, he's basically a bed.
Oh, shit. I almost choked on my water. Fucking hell.
And he's like, oh, I've been a vampire so long that I can't go outside. I just turned into a bed. And Blade's like, you're so lazy. that I'm going to burn you on the spot, and he just pulls out that big torch from shit. What's the alien
Chemical
program?
Brothers gig.
No, the big torches they used to use in
The big flamethrower thing.
no, the torches from
the torch, halogen torch.
Oh, of course, that's it.
But
Yeah,
it's an ultraviolet version of the torches that they always had in the thingy files, X-Files.
Yeah.
So those torches in the X-Files are like, vroom, vroom, like lightsabers.
Sorry, while we're on the topic of vampires and movies,
What a giant one the size of a bed.
have any of you...
The Daywalker's here. He's going to burn me out of bed because my alarm didn't go off.
I think Ross is losing it in the heat.
It is, yeah.
It's not even that hot today.
It's fucking boiling. What are you talking about? I'm sweating out.
I was just going to say the things we do in the dark. Has anybody caught that
It's
one?
amazing.
That's
Things we
really-
do in the shadows.
Is that what it's called? Yeah.
Yeah, by the...
That's Tata Waikiki, isn't it?
same guy that did the Wilder things.
And he's directing Thor Ragnarok as well.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Okay, anyway, I thought that needed a little
It's a
mention.
great, great film.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
More Thor Ragnarok in the news later on.
Yes.
But yeah, so are we going to get Blade for
Don't know.
Daredevil, do you think? Do you think that's where they're going?
I don't think they will yet. I think they will eventually, but not yet.
Well, no.
What's the name of his dude that helps him out?
Yeah,
stumped you there.
Chris Christopherson.
What is his name? I know it. I just can't think of it.
I'm slowing the
in my
podcast
head,
down,
I'm
screw
going
that.
Streaker, but that's not his name.
No.
That's just the word that comes into my head because it's similar letters. That's my dyslexia.
It's not
kicking
Striker then.
No, it's something
No.
like Strex or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
In my head, it's Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Yeah, let's go on with the news.
Yeah,
We
what else
need
we
to
got?
record another podcast.
Defenders actually is out on the 18th of August. In
Yay.
case you need a reminder. It's not that far away. And Luke Cage has started production of season 2 as well. Other trailers that we saw at the cinema. Valerian, Ross.
4th of August.
Mate, that film looks so good.
It's coming out on your birthday?
I won't be seeing it on my birthday.
No?
No, it's Friday the 4th of August.
Uh,
And it's Cow's Fireworks night.
Of
I'm
course
not
it is.
even that bothered about that, to be honest.
Sod
but
it.
it's-
Go watch
gonna be
the film
just-
instead.
Imagine trying to get
You'll
out
have the whole
of cows.
cinema to
Imagine
yourself.
trying to get out of cows just to watch that movie,
and then trying to
and
park
then trying
again.
to get back in on
Go
that
on, go on your
night.
push bike.
Yeah.
we could walk to Newport in the daytime
Yeah.
and walk back.
What, daywalkers? We could be daywalkers.
Oh,
No, I don't do that.
Yeah, no, that looks amazing, that film. And it, as it said in the trailer, it's like a lifetime of Luc Besson wanting to be able to do it. And now they have the technology and the money to do exactly what he wanted to do when he did Fifth Element.
Have you seen the trailer, Paul?
Nope.
We will link it on our Facebook page.
Some of the best French comics turned into beautiful visual.
Paul, do you like the Fifth Element?
spunky.
Fifth
Porn.
Elephant's pretty good.
It is
I'm
pretty
not
good.
a massive
It's
fan. I thought
pretty
it was
good,
pretty good, though. Yeah,
Do you like the Fifth Element?
that one's all right as well.
Yeah, it's a very good film, and
Yeah.
Valerian
It's
looks like a
what
even
inspired
better
that,
version of
basically.
Right.
So, yeah.
It's a bit mental, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like Luc Besson makes Western movies, but you can still tell he's French.
Yeah.
They're just better than most Hollywood films at this point in time, stuff that he makes. I far prefer it to mainstream Hollywood, like for sci-fi and action and stuff. It's just whether or not this will... Well, I can't imagine it's not going to be any good.
He can only go in one direction after Lucy, though, can't he, really?
Yeah.
Is Lucy
I
bad?
was just going to say, was it anything to do with him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Fifth Element had, and it's completely different, but there was elements of that reminded me of Lucy.
Yeah.
I do like Lucy.
I thought it was okay.
But
It was
the
an interesting
ending-
idea.
It's just the ending. That's
I
all.
still think it's an interesting idea. It's just meant to just go beyond, just beyond our comprehension. I think that's the whole idea. And it's just.
Yeah, true.
That's why I like that film. I don't think the ending is the best, but I think it is a good ending. And then the other film of his I really, really like is District 13, the free-running movie.
All right.
That was Luc Besson as well. And then they remade it for an American audience because they couldn't be bothered with subtitles and called it Concrete Mansions or something. And it had the guy Paul Walker from... I was going to say Need for Speed films there.
Daywalker.
Paul Walker.
Daywalker.
Paul Walker from Fast and the Furious.
It's the Paul Walker. Whoosh. He's not related to the Daywalker.
But yeah, it had him in it, and then all the other actors, other than the main French guy, who's still in it as himself,
Right.
but everyone else is replaced. But it's exactly the same film, pretty much like word for word, scene for scene, other than the fact that instead of it being his sister he's trying to save, it's his girlfriend.
Have sex with.
So they did that with Rec and Quarantine, didn't they?
Yeah.
Same. What's the point?
Because Americans apparently can't read.
Rex.
Like, they can't do
brilliant, isn't it?
subtitles.
Rec 1 and 2
Yeah,
are
yeah.
equally as good.
There's
brilliant.
Go back to a really old episode where I just don't really like horror movies, and there's another one that's really good because it's a genre full of bad films, and then the good ones are really good.
Yeah. What's else in the news then,
let's
Chris?
get a move on with the news so that we can record a hobby to cast.
DC have announced their next animated feature, which
Right.
is going to be Gotham by... Hang on. What's it called? Shit.
Don't think it's definitely not called
Gotham by shit.
No.
that. Is it called The Daywalker?
It's called Gotham by Gaslight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's kind of like Victorian England, I think.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Victorian
kinda,
era.
Yeah. So steampunky.
So basically Batman, Spider-Man Noir, but with Batman.
Is that good?
I
The
don't
thing
care.
is,
No?
I don't
I like
care.
the DC
I don't
animated
care.
feature.
the weird thing is,
Yeah,
if you go
but-
back to Victorian London, then that's where the other world's greatest detective came from.
Yeah, Sherlock Holmes
Yeah.
is...
Prediction from me is that you're going to end up with a little bit of a... I think over the next couple of years, we're going to start seeing some steampunk movies.
Yeah, it's already an obsession by a lot of people, isn't it?
Yeah.
Steampunk versions of Star Wars characters as action figures.
I
and
don't
things
really
like
like
that, but-
steampunk as a thing.
I like
Well-
it in computer games, but it's not...
Cyberpunk, on the other hand,
Cyberpunk,
I fucking love.
Yeah, definitely.
Augment me up, baby, but don't give me some little copper goggles.
But yeah, you've got a feature film coming, haven't you? The young adults book that I said about a while back that's being developed as a movie with the cities that move around
Immortal
I remember
Engines.
you mentioning it.
and
The
fight
Immortal
each
Engines.
other. Yeah, that's the one.
Well,
Yeah.
and the one that's the train, but it's it's the train from Wallace and Gromit.
It's laying
It's
track
laying
for
track.
itself.
It's got a giant penguin on the front, just going tudunk, tudunk, tudunk.
So yeah, that's going to be a very steampunky type movie, I expect. So I think I'm possibly we're going to start seeing some steampunk elements
Yeah.
in Hollywood and in movies and stuff.
I hope not.
I kind of hope so.
Thing is with steampunk is just dressing up as a Victorian person, but with a laser gun.
That's powered by a tiny little steam engine inside it.
Yeah.
It's just, silly.
It's like science fiction dressing up as a Victorian.
I'd rather have Lego Punk, where people are like half cyborg with Lego than
Now
steampunk.
you're just being silly.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'd rather that though. It would be funny at
We'll just
least.
stick a Lego Mohican to your head.
Well, no, like Lego arm parts, like Technic Lego skeleton for one arm or something, because you've had your arm blown off.
There you go, right? I've got a really good challenge for you. Make yourself the augmented muscle suit from Elysium, but
Right.
out of Technic's Lego.
I've got enough.
It would be really fragile. That'd be pointless.
Yeah.
No,
Or
I could do
you
that.
have to make yourself the loader from Aliens out of Technic
Yeah.
Lego as well.
Have
and
you
have to
seen the
wear
guy that built the Boba Fett armor out of Lego?
No, that sounds nerdy though.
It's amazing, like full armor, like
That you can
Lego.
actually wear.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Would it not be really chunky?
Yeah, but it's
No.
like thin plates of Lego on fabric for
Right.
certain bits, but then the whole gun made out of Lego, the helmet made out of Lego. It's really cleverly done.
Cool.
Anyway, more news.
Bloody San Diego Comic Con is on the way, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, it'll just be a big news week, won't it?
It will be.
Yeah.
So we'll have
Massive.
loads
Be a
of
fatty,
trailers.
fatty
We'll have
news
a
week.
really long news show that week.
So that's,
Chris will be like, "Oh my god, this is the ultimate list week."
so that's on
many logos, so many posters.
Oh, this
So
isn't
many
fair.
trailers.
He just got ganged up by three of us. Then 75%, 3/4 of the room bullied him. Then
It's fine. I'll just cut you all out. That's the 20th of July until
Yep.
the 23rd of July. So it's really soon. And
that's the weekend Dunkirk comes out as well.
you can expect a Thor Ragnarok update, I reckon, by
Yeah,
then.
normally
However,
get a Marvel
when's it
update around
coming
that
out?
point.
I think it's
November the-
November, yeah.
November, no, October. Oh, November the 12th, possibly the 7th.
Is there a D20 this year though? Is it D20? Is that what they call it, or is that just the name of the dice? The Disney one they do.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Disney do their own event now, don't they?
Do they?
Yeah.
Wow.
They bloody would, wouldn't they?
Well, they do have so much. They got Marvel,
Right.
Pixar,
All I really
Disney,
want is the
live
Star Wars.
action
I
Disney.
want
Right.
the Last Jedi trailer.
Okay.
I'm surprised that hasn't come out yet. I'm really.
There's a teaser, isn't there? But
Yeah,
I want
but
a real
like a
one.
proper trailer.
I want that
normally.
Mark Hamill talking and fucking shit up with his lightsaber out.
Thor Ragnarok is out on the 3rd of November.
That's it, 3rd. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that a lot.
And this time, around this time, or by this amount of time through the year when the last Star Wars came out, we'd had a teaser and at least one full trailer, I think, hadn't we? They're playing the cards a bit close to the chest this time.
Yeah, but they got so much coming out, and everyone's so excited about it anyway. They I don't think they even. Marvel, well, Disney with all their films now could just put one trailer out 2 months before, and people would shit their pants so much everyone would go out in force.
And they've got so much stuff coming out that people would just go, I forgot this is coming out. My God.
Yeah, I've watched 7 other Disney-owned films in the last week. Like, I can't handle another one. I'm just going to sit at home and cry.
Anyway, Thor Ragnarok. So it's going through some pretty extensive reshoots apparently.
Of course it is.
Yeah,
Mate.
Even though it
do.
looked bloody brilliant from the trailer.
Mm.
it did, didn't it? I got quite a lot of faith in it.
Yeah, it looks exciting.
I don't think reshoots matters too much, doesn't it? I think it's just they just write this into the budget now, don't they?
Yeah, true.
All films do it now, don't they? Reshoots. It's
Although-
just sort of standard practice.
The cast have kind of buggered off and started doing other things, and they've had to recall them apparently.
Yeah, well, when it's not standard practice for all films, is it? But these types of
Well, yeah,
event
big
movies are like
big
that.
summer
Don't think Martin
blockbusters.
Scorsese lets the producers
No.
come in and can we just reshoot these scenes, Martin Scorsese? He's like, no.
No,
And
but
then-
like big
and they do it
budget
to Ridley
Hollywood.
Scott, and he's like, no, we fucking come and do that.
Yeah, but
I'll
Ridley
fuck
Scott
your
probably
eyes out.
chooses to do the reshoots himself
Yeah,
because he's not
Ridley
happy with
Scott.
his own work.
No, Ridley Scott goes along and he reshoots other people's work for him.
Yeah.
behind their
Yeah,
back. He's like,
true.
yeah, you're not making aliens.
Hang on, I'm just going to open the oven door.
Okay.
There we go.
Netflix and vampires have come up a couple of times. I could have segued into this earlier quite nicely, but Castlevania on Netflix, the animated show,
Yeah,
has been released.
has it?
Yeah,
I can see Adam shaking his head.
it's getting some very good reviews.
Is it?
Yeah.
I just
And-
got no interest in it. I love Castlevania.
Thing is, though, what would you expect from a series? How many episodes do you think there are?
I don't know,
12.
20.
There are 4.
You're kidding.
No, they're 25 minutes long each.
Oh, yeah, that's something I could stomach.
There you go.
2 hours, yeah, that's doable.
But don't watch it with the kids, apparently.
Is it very violent?
Apparently so.
Wow.
Bit of swearing, lots of blood,
I wouldn't have expected that.
You got some vampire like bumming.
probably.
Cool.
Gay walkers.
I was waiting for one of you two to do that.
Brilliant.
You just missed it by not doing it in the voice. So.
Gay walker.
One that might...
I'm literally a bed, so if
It
you
was-
want to be a gay walker, be a gay walker on me.
Oh, my God.
Call
Right.
112 66666. Call us now. 850
Can we get-
50 50, the Gay Walkers Exchange.
Right, one that might interest you, though, Paul, Godzilla.
Yeah,
But yeah, there's a Godzilla animated movie called Planet of the Monsters.
I'm up for that.
Oh.
Yeah, that's actually a comic.
Is it?
Yeah, yeah.
So the
Oh,
premise
okay.
being that the human race leaves Earth, and there are a certain amount of people that want to go back to Earth,
Right.
and they do. And Godzilla and a bunch of monsters have taken over.
They're called
Cool.
kaiju.
That's the one.
Thank you.
I call them Nathan, Dave, and Thomas.
I like that.
Is this
Yeah.
follow up to Rampage?
Look at this place. It's
Just-
full of Nathan, Dave, and Thomas. He's
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Fucking mangos.
Don't be racist calling them kaiju, but they've got actual names. I think you'll find Dave, Thomas, and Nathan. Anyway,
Is Nathan the big wolf thing?
no, it's the moth.
Is he?
Yeah, everyone
Oh.
thinks it's called Daisy or something. Why
There's-
would you? Why,
There's
it's
not a
it's
moth.
muscly bloke called Nathan.
There's not a moth in Rampage, Ross. So that answers your question, doesn't it? Firefly season 2, though.
What?
Really?
Yeah, Netflix are working on it apparently.
This is weird. Right, I've got a confession to make about Firefly, yeah. I appreciate it's really good, but I didn't know it was a thing, and I watched Serenity first, and then I've never gone back and
Oh.
watched Firefly.
Oh dear.
I
I
don't
don't know
like
what-
it. I tried watching it, and it's just
What is it?
unbearable.
It's like Space Cowboy type TV series.
It's basically a gang of Han Solos in a battlefield, and then it's all about their journey in a spaceship that leads all the way up to a film.
It's one bloke that's a bit like Han Solo,
They're all like
and
Han
it's a
Solo.
couple of people that used to be soldiers in a massive galactic war, a space prostitute, and a couple of other characters that
It's
are
not
along for
quite
the ride.
Brave Star, though.
Imagine the American Civil War has just finished and the Wild West is about to start,
Cool.
but in space.
Steampunk.
Is that quite a good?
Basically,
that's
yeah.
basically the
And then
premise, isn't it?
somebody turns up with some freaky shit going on, and they are all of a sudden in charge of this person, and they're like, what the hell do we do with this situation? And they're flying around the galaxy, and instead of having like Freak of the Week stuff going on, it's got a very good continuing storyline, and
Made by the guy who did...
it's Joss Whedon.
But
Yeah,
it's the
Buffy.
poster child of shows that should never have been cancelled. It is the show that everyone goes that should have had more than one season.
I
And
just don't get
it's a
it,
show
though.
that if it was
I
made
don't enjoy
today
it.
would just have like the fact that they're talking about making a season 2. If it was made today, it would probably run for 10 seasons on like Netflix, wouldn't it?
So it's
Because
Absolutely.
there's an audience for it.
I'd say
It's one
go
of
on.
the few sci-fis I just don't get on with. I really don't like any of the characters.
I'd say get past the first 2 or 3 episodes, because they're the ones that kind of introduce you to the characters and give you a bit of grounding, and from then on they start really like using those character backgrounds in really entertaining ways.
So it's just like Will Smith's Wiki Wild West.
No, no, it's not.
That's all I was going to say. Yeah.
But there are certain actors from the first season that don't actually want it to happen. So whether or not you will end up with a different cast, which could be weird, but we'll see.
Well, it could just be some sort of space plastic surgery, can't it? Build
Maybe.
it into the storyline that they're on the run for the first 2 episodes for some reason. They've all had their faces changed and their vocal cords changed. Job
Maybe.
done.
Maybe. X-Men. Ross, you like the X-Men? There's the TV series that we spoke about a little while ago called The Gifted, about kids who find out that they are
Gifted.
mutants and leg it off, and it reminds me of Escape from Witch Mountain quite a lot.
Sounds rubbish. I'm sorry. I tuned out when you went, you like the X-Men. I was like, oh, what have they fucking done to it now? And then they're like gifted kids. And I was like,
It looks all right.
It
But
doesn't look as good as some of the other
It doesn't look as good as
TV
Legion.
shows that are coming out. Like there's so many comic book TV shows coming out now that I've had to decide to drop some just to fit in the ones I actually am interested in. So
before I hurry us up again, can we just quickly... how long can this carry on for?
How long can what carry on for?
This comic book thing.
All right.
what
You
the mass amount of stuff related to comic books?
Yeah.
I think it'll keep going. I just think it'll keep going and going because they're now expanding out into non-Marvel DC universes, and that'll be there for the people that aren't interested in that stuff, but there'll always be people that want that stuff. So I think it's going to go on for a very long time.
It's going to depend on your viewership as well,
Yeah.
though, isn't it? At some point, you can overstretch
Yeah, I
that.
mean, I'm broken at this point.
Yeah.
I'm only broken by stuff that's badly made. If it's not badly made, I'll carry on watching
Yeah,
it.
but I haven't even seen Guardians 2 and Wonder Woman.
Really?
Yeah.
Quite surprised about
I only
that.
saw Spider-Man because I had a week off.
Wow.
I went to cinema for free.
The thing is with TV shows as well, I find, is that you're going to end up with 2 or 3 of them on the same night.
Yeah, but fuck that. Nobody watches TV like that anymore,
No.
do they? If they do, if you're still watching TV when it's broadcasted, you're mental.
So,
Or you're elderly.
other than people that have got the ability to record from TV,
Which
and-
is everybody or
Okay.
the internet.
do you mean illegal copies or watching stuff on things like
Yeah.
Netflix,
Like me and-
HBO,
even
Hulu.
Even me and Anna
Pirates.
will not watch. Like Bear Grylls The Island, it's only on like 6 episodes, isn't it, once a year. We would just watch it like, even though it would get to Monday night and we'd know it would be on, we'd just be like, well, we're not changing our plans to watch it. We will just consume it when it's appropriate.
BBC iPlayer or 4OD or
Yeah,
whatever. Yeah.
4OD.
Yeah.
The only thing that annoys me about 4OD is not in HD, is it?
don't care because they keep all of the programs they make on there.
Yeah.
And we don't pay for Channel 4, whereas the BBC we pay for.
We do
and the
pay for Channel
programs.
4.
Yeah, but not in the same way that we pay for the BBC.
Yeah, our license fee goes towards Channel 4 as well. Check your facts.
Yeah, but not as much of the money
That's
goes
why
there.
Channel 4 have a really good combination of garbage and excellent documentaries because it's part funded by a license fee.
Yeah, but part funded.
But anyway, I
BBC
digress.
gets loads
Yeah.
of money and they don't keep any of their back catalogue of programmes on BBC iPlayer.
Ah.
You have to pay for them like on DVD or like for a rental service.
Stingy payers
Yeah.
for your.
You know, you
sync
pay
as
for
well.
it and then you get programs on there for 7 days and then it's gone. That's it. You don't get a chance to go back and watch something like you do with 4OD. You can go on there whenever you want and find pretty much all British comedy that Channel 4 have ever made.
There
always
is
on there.
loads. Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. Anyway,
What about an American remake of The Misfits?
no.
I'm not up for it, but
It's perfectly good as it is.
I think
Don't need
well,
remaking.
it's perfectly crap as it is. But it's,
No, I like it. It's great
it's-
fun.
the first couple of seasons are really good.
The first 2 seasons are the best seasons, but I still like it all the way through. It is what it is. It's a ridiculous comedy superhero mess on Channel 4, and that's exactly what it was meant to be.
It
and
wouldn't be funny
works.
over. Yeah, I think the only thing that makes it quite good is just because it's rough and the language is bad and it's all council estatey.
Well, yeah,
It's
the setting
that
and
doesn't
style works.
That won't translate
No,
to us in the same way.
but it worked with
Shameless.
Yeah.
Did it?
Well,
I tried
apparently.
watching the American one. It's awful.
yeah, but they're on like 7 seasons now.
Yeah, but then most American things go to 7 seasons unless they're so bad at the beginning or really, really good at the beginning.
What about The Office? Where's that now, Ross? Have you been watching The American Office?
Yeah, I've seen it all.
How many seasons are there?
I think they did 8 seasons.
Right.
I would try not to spoil it. You can probably stop watching The American Office at the wedding.
Right.
But if you want to see how a TV show goes absolutely mental when the main character leaves and then they just get loads of different people come in and just be the boss, it's brilliant.
Okay.
Weird.
as
Sounds
well.
interesting.
And then, yeah, it's a very good show. Very, very good show.
Because the only
It's
American...
not as good as Parks and Rec, but
the
it's
only
good.
like American like comedy shows that I've watched from beginning all the way through to the end, even if I didn't necessarily watch them directly at the time but caught up and stuff, is Parks and Rec and Friends. Like, and I was young when Friends was out, and I just, it was something I watched with mates, and we'd drink a few beers, watch Friends, laugh, and then play computer games.
When I was travelling, I was in a place called Luang Prabang in Laos, or Laos if you want to pick me up on it, I don't care. But yeah, this place, Luang Prabang, they've got just bars and coffee shops and things just like on every single street corner. And when I was there, every single one of them played Friends on repeat, constantly, all day. So no matter where you are in the town, you could always hear ding, 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 ding,
So
ding,
where
ding,
is
ding,
this? So I
ding,
know where
ding,
to
ding,
avoid
ding,
it and
ding,
never
ding,
ever
ding,
visit.
ding.
Channel 4, mate, for
It's-
the last 15 years.
They're probably
Ooh.
playing. They're probably playing The Big Bang Theory now, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Look, you haven't mentioned that for weeks.
But that's the thing to me, like Friends, I only watched all of it because I was younger when it came out, and I watched it with mates, and it kind of became a bit
I
of
get
a,
it. It's guilty
it became-
pleasure.
it
and
became a
we've-
tradition,
We've all
you
got
know?
one, yeah.
became a tradition. And then like Parks and Rec was just brilliant. Whereas a lot of the other American comedies, especially the redos of British comedy, I just never got on with them. I understand how good they are. They just don't make me laugh. So
Have you ever seen the pilot for the American Red Dwarf?
I was just
So
going to say
bad,
that.
isn't it?
It's
which
amazing.
version though? Because they did 2 versions.
Did they? I've only got one.
Yeah, they did one, and then they did. Yes, they did one, and then they redid it with slightly different cast. So they did originally. They did it without any of the actual guys from over here.
Yeah, that's
And
the one
then-
I've seen.
Yeah, and then they redid that with Crichton.
Is it awful?
Robert Llewellyn from over here in playing
Unbelievable.
Crichton.
You can't imagine how wrong someone could get it.
Did
The,
they put-
Lister is a hulking, like long-haired, like good-looking man.
right?
Yeah.
Even Rimmer is
Rimmer
He's
ends up being
quite
the
a
woman.
good-looking fella, isn't he? And
Yeah, but they changed that,
do they?
and then it ends up being the woman from Frasier, the British actress who's in
Right.
Frasier as
Okay.
the cleaner and stuff and helper. She ends up playing. She plays Holly. Sorry.
Right.
And then they've got Robert Llewellyn brought in to play Crichton, and both versions are just awful.
It's just it's just smothered in American. Yeah,
Yeah, it just doesn't work. The cat is just a woman. Oh, a cat is from DS9. She's Dax,
Oh yeah, okay.
and it just doesn't work.
How bizarre.
The pilot, which is also the first episode of The American Office, is terrible as well.
Oh right.
It's but like a line-for-line dialogue version. Of
Like the In-Betweeners remake in
It's
America
like-
is line for line in the first episode.
Wow.
It's like a piece of theatre being murdered by Americans.
Okay.
Yeah, but then it's fantastic. As soon as it becomes its own entity, it's brilliant.
Cool.
Amazing.
Okay. Right, moving on. Felicity Jones is going to star in a Swan Lake movie. Way.
Don't know.
I thought your reaction might be a bit
No
Yeah.
opinion.
nothing.
That
No
No
opinion.
Have you
if
guys
she
seen?
hadn't been in Rogue One, with that line, you wouldn't have even said that. That's
No,
not news,
This
is
is
it?
true, but hey,
She was in The Worst Witch. What do you mean?
my reaction was we've
And
had a
Chalet
really.
Girl,
My reaction was that we've had a really good Swan Lake movie already.
Black Swan.
She was
Yeah.
also in The Monster Calls before Star Wars, and that was a really good film.
It's all right. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she's in Cemetery Junction,
I don't know what that is.
Ricky Gervais' film. Yeah,
I probably won't like it.
it's funny.
Is it?
Yeah,
That's the one about kids wanting to be rock stars, isn't it?
it's just about growing up in like Middle England, isn't it?
I've seen it. I'm sure I have.
It's Middle England. Up north's more interesting. Down south's interesting. Middle England, meh.
So yeah,
So any brummies out there listening?
I'm not
He's
sure.
just written you
Middle
right
Eng-
off.
I don't think that's what Middle England means.
What, Brummies?
No, it doesn't mean the Midlands.
doesn't mean Evesham,
What does
Worcestershire,
Middle England
which is
then?
where I'm from. You bastards.
What's
Anyway.
Middle England then?
Just like
Just
London? That's not a middle.
No. It doesn't mean geographically, does it? It means sort of like
Landlocked.
culturally centralised English.
Ah.
I think.
Oh, right.
Anyway, Oats Studios, they've released some more films this week,
They've got like 15 short, tiny 2-minute things, and then
and they're not all about aliens,
No,
which
what?
surprised me.
Everything should be about aliens.
they're
Apart
really
from many
good.
Ridley Scott
really,
movies.
really good though.
There's one about God called Serengeti,
Oh, it's brilliant.
which I haven't seen yet.
It's
which apparently
really,
is pretty
really
good.
good.
And one called Cooking with Bill, which is like some guy that gets, well, maybe it is about aliens, but it's cooking like with stupid, crazy, massive like bits of meat and bits of like kitchen.
Yeah, it's basically
like
alien
machinery
using
that don't
alien
work.
technology to cook ridiculously insane pieces of animal.
Looks quite entertaining.
The God one's very good. It's got I can't think of his name. Who was in District 9 and A-Team as Murdoch.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
The South African actor. He's very, very good.
We'll link Oats Studio on our Facebook page once again. We seem to be doing that every week because they keep releasing stuff like all the time, which is cool. And just in case you can't remember who they are, Oats Studio is Neil Blomkamp's current project. And all these films are free to watch. They're on their YouTube channel. So go and have a look. Edgar Wright is talking about doing a sequel to Baby Driver.
I haven't seen it yet, so
No,
I can't
it's-
comment.
It's supposed to be extremely good. But I think sequels have always been something that he avoids.
Yeah, I don't think... It depends. If he's up for doing it and it makes sense to do it, cool. Otherwise, like, it kind of seems pointless.
This said, though, apparently there was a sequel for Shaun of the Dead planned.
Really?
Yeah.
Called
Hot Fuzz.
Dawn of the
I
Dead.
thought they pretty much. I was going to Shaun of the Dead. They wrapped it up pretty much at the end, didn't
Yeah, they just made all the
zombies
zombies vote Brexit and work in supermarkets.
Yeah.
But they were going to... I'm going to have to Google it, but they were going to use like different monsters. Hang on a sec.
So werewolves and.
Jaywalker.
It was vampires, I'm sure it was.
Yeah, there
Hang on
you
a
go.
sec.
Oh, dear.
Oh, you mean Nightwalkers?
Shaun and the Vulnerable Daylight meat monsters or something.
He was going to call it From Dusk Till Shaun.
Very good.
Nice.
I like that. So yeah, that didn't happen, unfortunately.
No. From Dust.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Dust Till Dawn's a really good film, isn't it?
Yeah. And you can tell the difference
you-
between the bit that's Tarantino and the bit that's John Carpenter. You can see
Apparently,
the difference.
that's not true.
No, it is. Both
From
of
what
them have said it in
I've read
interviews.
it is who directed the first half of it.
Tarantino, and the second half
It's John
Rodriguez.
Carpenter.
No, Robert Rodriguez.
Oh, sorry, Robert
I heard
Rodriguez.
it's
Sorry.
Roberto Rodriguez directed all of it.
No, well, both of them have said it in interviews.
It
that
just
they did
very
half
feels
each.
like. When I first saw it, I didn't know it was going to do that either.
No, I was showing
And
it.
in that, the
I was
first
showing
time
it.
you see Dust Till Dawn, and if you don't know anything about it, you're like, what?
Yeah.
I was shown it without being told as well. Nobody spoiled it for me. I was just invited round to a friend's house to watch it. He'd invited like 5 of us round. He'd already seen it, and he was just like, "Just shut up and watch this."
I don't think it works quite as well the second time, other than the little pussy, white pussy, brown pussy, sticky pussy.
Smelly pussy.
He's in that film. He plays 3 parts in that film, doesn't he?
does.
Yeah.
You know what? On IMDb, from Dusk Till Dawn, the director's credit is only given to Robert Rodriguez.
Yep, told you.
Yeah, no, it's weird that both of them in interviews have said that Tarantino did the first section up to a certain point. It's really weird. Like, I've read it a few times in different interviews of both of them, and I don't know if it's that he just got more involved in the direction with the first part of the film because they're mates and wanted to do it that way, and then he's just taken the credit because he did the longer half of the film. But
I've always thought it was the truth because the first half of the movie is actually quite decent. The second half just turns to just chaos, doesn't it? Really.
yeah, I think it's supposed to
and
be.
it
though.
goes absolutely mentally ridiculous, which is more Rodriguez style.
Yeah,
And the first half of the movie feels like more of a Tarantino movie. But there you go.
Fuck you, everybody, and good night.
How about an animated Assassin's Creed series?
Don't care.
Don't care.
Fair enough. What about a movie
Probably not. I'm just guessing that it's about the 15th item on our news. Then probably the answer's going to be no.
Go on.
of Borg versus McEnroe?
I just
Have you
don't
got-
care.
Isn't that what?
I'm so not in.
I'd watch The Borg versus McEnroe.
yeah, that's what I was
I'd watch
going to
that.
say.
So,
If they gave McEnroe like some RoboCop like upgrades and put him against the Borg, I'd watch
and the
it in a
balls were
tennis
like-
match.
Like laser-powered
Yeah.
balls. Yeah.
Yeah, one man against an entire race of Borg.
We've talked about this too much already.
I bring it up because John McEnroe's been in the press just this week, hasn't he?
What? Because
Yeah.
Wimbledon's on.
But
A
no, he's
backhanded
being
compliment,
yeah,
wasn't
he's
it? or
being a
something?
dickhead, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's basically said something along the
He
lines
doesn't
of
like that Shia LaBeouf is in it or something, wouldn't it? Or
Shia LaBeouf is playing him in the movie.
yeah.
But the point being, with him being an arsehole, is that he said Serena Williams wouldn't be able to compete against male tennis players. And when he was asked if he would like to retract the comment, he said, well, no, because it's just true, isn't it? She's a woman. You know, she wouldn't be able to beat something like the top 50
Wow.
tennis players.
Do they not have men against women matches?
No, because sport's broken, isn't it?
They have
No,
mi-
they have mixed
doubles.
doubles, don't they?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
But didn't he also say that, not Henman,
the really happy, chappy, matey Scottish guy.
yeah, the one who's champion.
This is
at
how
the
much
moment.
we've
Yeah.
The one
We-
that's British sometimes and Scottish when he doesn't win.
Murray.
That's the
Yeah,
one.
This
he
is
did-
how much we've talked too much about tennis. Chris, what's the next
Well,
news
no,
item?
quickly,
Wait.
didn't you just say Murray was the he's the tennis equivalent of golf's
Tiger Woods.
Tiger Woods?
Ah.
And they're like, what do you mean by that? He said, well, read into that what you will.
So it's probably
He's just trying to cause trouble for him and his wife.
Isn't he?
Isn't Tiger Woods the golf version of Bill Cosby?
Yeah.
Not quite, but
who got
close.
off, didn't he? Bill Cosby got off completely.
seen the
Did he? You're
Have you seen it?
kidding.
No.
Have you seen the doc?
No.
Have you seen the documentary the BBC did about it?
No.
Did you
And
see
you're
him
just
walking
like-
out of court going,
No.
doing
Yeah,
an
yeah.
impression of the character Fat Albert he used to do?
Oh my.
Completely got away with doing that outside of court with a big smile on his face. It's like, wow.
He got a mistrial, basically, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is Bill Cosby Black Jimmy Savile?
No, it's Rolf Harris, isn't it?
Oh, dear.
Well, he's the
Oh,
black Jimmy
yes.
Savile.
No, he's he's the black Rolf Harris. He's not the he's the American Rolf Harris. He's
Right, okay.
he's their
got
Rolf
very
Harris,
lost
isn't he?
there in-
Yeah,
What was going on?
he's their Rolf Harris, and
Right.
ours went down, and
Yeah.
Theirs really didn't. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Mind you, Rolf's due out soon, though, isn't he?
He
With
is.
and with an album
Really?
he's written,
While he's been
about
in there.
him being a
Behind
victim.
bars.
Do you know
Yeah.
who's? Do you know who's?
Amazing.
Wow.
Do you know who's White Bill Cosby?
Go on.
Donald Trump.
You reckon?
Probably.
A grand pussy.
Probably. Well, he got away with it first time round, didn't he? Allegedly.
Speaking
It
of
was-
Top Guns.
Anyway, yeah. Playing with the boys.
Those of you that are waiting for a Top Gun sequel, you know that you're going to get it.
Are we?
Only if we've got the same. We've got Kenny Loggins doing the soundtrack.
I don't
Has
know.
to be.
Really don't
Has to
know.
be Kenny
but
Loggins.
the sequel will land, sorry, in July 2019.
I don't really. I haven't even properly watched the first one ever. So
What?
Because this
Wow.
after Danglewank too.
I just don't like Tom Cruise
Yes.
that much.
It's one of those films you only need to know the key bits, don't you? It's bollocks.
Is Tom Cruise going to be?
It's another. I'm Tom Cruise,
is
and
he
I'm
gonna be the
finding things really
instructor?
difficult,
Maybe.
and I'm in love, and now I'm going to be amazing and do something really amazing because I'm Tom Cruise. Oh, look, I'm running.
You've seen the Playing with the Boys scene, though, haven't you? The gayest scene
No.
of all movies.
Have
It's
you not
amazing.
seen How Gay Is Top Gun?
No.
It's a scene from
It's
another movie.
It's amazing.
Um,
And Tarantino does it, doesn't he?
yeah, he does a little monologue. I couldn't tell you what film it's from, but he,
Yeah.
it's quite. We'll
remember.
put a YouTube clip on somewhere where
Yeah.
people can see
How
it.
it's
Okay.
an unrequited love story, isn't it, between
it's
Iceman
Maverick.
and Maverick?
It's so he's in love with Iceman.
Oh, amazing.
Anyway, so that's it for the news this week.
Woo.
If
Magic.
you guys are happy, let's wrap it up. Where can we find you, Paul?
Oh, all the usual places skulking around on the internet. But the only ones I can legally mention are my shops, Rocket Punch Collectables and Curiosity. Please pop by, have a little look. Still lots of weird stuff to pop on there yet. Yeah, I've got some really, really cool stuff coming up soon. I've got, if anybody remembers out there, Scream magazine
Ooh.
from the early 80s. It only ran for, I think, about 17 issues, and I've managed to get nearly a whole collection of them.
Cool.
So they'll be coming up
Amazing.
soon.
You can find links to both the Paul shops on our Facebook page, actually.
Thank you very much.
Ross?
I'm off work this week, so you can find me on holiday.
On holiday in PS4 land?
No,
In the PlayStation
What
Network?
term of PlayStation? Still playing Battlefield. Still very, very good game. Add me on PlayStation Network if you want to play Battlefield.
There is a link to Ross's PlayStation Network handle also on our show notes and on our Facebook page. So
Is
go
there?
and find him and shoot him with a tank, please. Thank you very much.
A Bovington tank.
Has
yes,
to be.
That would be great. Adam?
The usual place of Adam Gatcher Arts on Facebook and YouTube. Still new stuff to come up soon and shows around the corner.
Also, all of those linked on our Facebook page, along with my stuff, which is, well, my electronic cigarette company, which I can't advertise, is, yeah, linked
You're not
on
allowed
there.
to.
No,
What?
Not
Can't-
even on
can't.
your own
Is that-
podcast.
Is
No.
that law now?
yeah,
Well, you can't advertise it on a podcast.
can't advertise my business via any means, I don't think. Other
Just-
than that, Chris Quinton's music and things is also linked on our Facebook page, which should have some music on it very, very soon. And that's about it for this show. Our next show, just another retrocast, is going to be all about activities, hobbies, and games and stuff from when we were kids, which will be released on Thursday.
Probably mention how mental my dad was at some point during that podcast. As
Mega.
Well.
It's going on the bingo card.
You can find both of our podcasts on the same channel, that's SNEW with the Crew, and that's available via Libsyn, Sticher, Soundcloud, iTunes, YouTube,
The
Oh.
cloud.
the
The internets.
the pod-
all of the internets. Multiple internets.
the podcast app on your
The
phone.
ocean if you've got a really good
cyberweb.
net.
It's probably on the dark web somewhere, along with Chris's e-cigarettes
The stuff I sell.
and Paul's other shops that he's not allowed to advertise. Guns, sex, toys, and drugs. It's called. Shoot anything you like up your ass.
Oh dear. What do you call those? Oh, a blunderbuss. That's the one.
On that, yeah.
On
With
that note,
image, yeah.
on that note,
We've all adjusted uncomfortably.
That's brilliant, Chris. That's the funniest thing you've ever said, because a blunderbuss definitely sounds like it could be a drug. It is a gun, and it also is a sex toy, probably.
And the image of that wide nozzle going in, not a
Yeah,
good
yeah, yeah.
sign.
it's just the shooting anything you want up your ass.
Yeah.
If you don't know, a blunderbuss will shoot literally anything. You just stick gunpowder in there and Doesn't matter what size
ba-
plastic cock you got.
A blunderbuss is a trumpet that
It is.
you fill with gunpowder.
Hence why
blow.
I'm capable to. I'm free to list them on both shops.
yeah, absolutely.
Fine.
Yeah.
Legal and illegal.
Right.
So yeah,
So let's wrap it up. Say goodbye, guys.
Chill out.
Take care.
Ta-ra.
Goodbye.
take it easy.
Bye.
Ridley Scott's making rubbish movies still.